Hey guys, welcome to our video on 2-point perspective. Sorry if you missed out on the original lesson in class, but this should get you all caught up, or if you need a little extra help, this should be a great thing to refer back to. First thing you need is a paper. You want your paper to be vertical today. You're going to need a ruler, you're going to need an eraser, and you're going to need a pencil. We're going to be using these tools a lot. Make sure you have these two tools extremely handy because just like 1-point perspective, you're going to have to do a lot of erasing. First thing we're going to do is figure out where we want our horizon to be. We don't want it smack dab in the middle of our paper. We're going to be down here a little bit further, but we don't want to be all the way down at the bottom of the paper. We still want to have some ground. But we want to have room for the rest of our treehouse. So there's my horizon line, looking good. Now the main difference between 1-point and 2-point perspective is how many vanishing points you have. I'm going to have 2 points. They're going to be on either side of my paper. When we did 1-point perspective, we put it more in the center. So go ahead on your horizon line, give yourself 2 vanishing points. Next up, we're going to draw our house. Now typically when you think about a house, you think down here in your foreground. Well, we want our tree house to be up in the sky, so we're going to be drawing up here. And we're going to start with a line. 1-point perspective, when we drew a house, we started with a rectangle. We're not doing that today. We're going to use our rulers to start with a vertical line. It's really important that I'm doing a very straight vertical line, no crooked diagonal lines. That does not look really good. I'm going to go ahead and make that ruler straight, check that it's straight along the end of my paper, and then I'm going to draw my line. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, draw a line kind of in the center of my sky. There you go. The taller the line, the bigger your house. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a dot at the top of my line and a dot at the bottom. You don't have to do that step, but I think it's helpful to remind you what you have to go to the vanishing point with. Alright, so I'm going to take the top of my vertical line, and I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to line up my top of my line with my vanishing point. Just like I did in 1-point perspective, this is going to be a receding line. The side of our house is going off into the distance. So I'm going to go ahead, get those exactly where I want them. I'm going to draw my line. Next up, I'm going to go from the bottom to my vanishing point. Line them up. It's really important you're matching that line to the vanishing point. Draw my line. That's one side of my house going into the distance. I'm going to go ahead, do the same thing on this side. I'm going to line these two up, make my line. I'm going to line this and my vanishing point up, make my line. Alright, so right now I've kind of got this boomerang shape. I'm going to go ahead, right now my walls are going on forever. I need my house to stop. So just like I did in 1-point perspective, the front of my wall is a vertical line. The back of my wall should be a vertical line. So my ruler right now, I'm checking it. This is the same amount of space right here. And I'm going to draw a line back here. That's where my wall stops. So imagine I have no lines back here. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Make sure this is straight. This is equal. Draw my line. And there is the sides of my house. There's no bottom of my house yet, so be patient. I'm going to go ahead, erase away this stuff. Erase away this stuff. And I'm ready to go ahead and close up the bottom. So we're going to go and do opposites now. I'm going to have the bottom of this wall here and the bottom of this wall here, but instead of going to my vanishing point, I'm going to switch and we're going to go opposite, opposite. So here's my dot, here's my vanishing point, close up the bottom. I'm stopping when I get to about the middle right here. Then I'm going to do the same thing, corner to vanishing point. Now it looks like I have a little bit of a gap, so I'm going to go ahead and just connect those two together. I need to make that line just a tiny bit longer. Now you have the bottom of your house, the top, and the top. I want a tree to look like it's growing out. Trees would grow through the center, and trees are round, so I'm making a curved line right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw in my tree trunk. Straight line down that curves out. Line that goes down and curves out. There's your trunk. I like to make my tree kind of look like it has some roots growing out of the bottom. And that's looking good. Tree trunks are not see-through, so I need to erase anything that's inside of there. There's my house bottom. There's my horizon line getting out of here. And I'm off to a great start.